Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast. Glad you guys are here again. We are diving into a really cool topic because it's how Lie and I are very similar to each other, and it's uprooting your life. What it's like when you leave everything that's familiar, no one's there to catch you, and whether or not you should move somewhere else, and especially when you don't know anyone. So really excited to jump into this.
Yes, we are really excited. And actually, Audrey, I think you've moved once. And you could say that I've moved twice. So I had that happen to me twice. And I kind of have to talk about the first one to talk about the second one. But let's start with you. Because you're originally from Michigan and you moved to Tampa. So what originally made you decide to move to a new city on your own, on your 20s, really young? Like, how that happened?
Yeah, I mean, you're a pro at this now, but I'm still figuring it out. For me, a lot of things happened. So I'm going to try to make a long story short. I was going to go to a couple different places. Graduation day, I had a cool offer with Pepsi. I was so stoked. Not a lot of people had a job offer. And I flew out there. And I 100% thought I was going to take the job. I was like, yeah, I'll go check it out. I'll see it. We get a little trip to California. And something fell off. Like my gut was like, do not do this. So I rejected the job with no other job opportunities. I went and started scrubbing boats. And this was the moment in my life.
Wait. Scrubbing boats? What do you mean?
Yes. I had 3 degrees under my belt and I took a minimum wage job washing boats in the summer. So, and you can just imagine I'm sitting there, cleaning up after very rich people.
Scrubbing boats. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You were scrubbing boats.
Yeah, cleaning breadcrumbs off the floor, going, what? Like, I paid all of this for my education. I had a great job offer and I turned it down. Like, the amount that I was beating myself up was astronomical.
Right, of course.
But I kept taking on opportunities. I interned at the chamber. I wasn't getting paid for it, but I went to all these networking events and talked to I knew I wanted to be in sales.
Of course.
All the salespeople.
You've always been a networking queen.
Really, I guess this started young because, I was 21 and I'm at these events with all these older individuals who are business owners in the area. And I would just go up to them. Like, I would track their names beforehand, see the ones that were in sales, and I would find their badges and I'd go talk to them. And I would just be direct. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for a job. Do you have anything? And it worked. I met this person and they were like, 100%, I will connect you with so-and-so and so-and-so and we'll get you a job. Like, cool. And then I was like,
That's
wow.
how you know networking is really everything. Because if you really did that, and even now, I tell people, I'm like, I would never be without a job just because I know so many people that if tomorrow I have no job, I can talk to anybody and I will have a job in 24 hours. I promise you.
Exactly. I hate to say it's easy because there's a lot of people struggling to get a job right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I'm sorry. People who complain, I know I don't allow weakness to enter my mind. People who complain about not having a job, they're just not trying hard enough. And they have a victim mentality. They're just grab anything they can and just become a victim to it. Oh, the economy is bad. Oh, my degree doesn't work. Oh, whatever.
Oh, it's just the job market. It's all
the
exterior.
Job market is bad. I don't care, honey. Go out there and you will find opportunities if you're really trying and you look for them. But it's gonna take some work and some grit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The world is your oyster, and I made it for sure. I was just scraping them off. We are going to find an opportunity. My only thing was like, okay, I want to be somewhere that's warmer. I had some interpersonal family things going on as well, and I was just at that age where I was like, I am getting out of here. And they said, hey, how's Florida sound? So I hopped on an interview. In a couple weeks, they were flying me down here, and I absolutely loved it.
So they paid you to move?
Yes. Well, I negotiated that actually.
That's how you moved? I didn't know that. That's how you actually moved to Tampa. It was for the job.
Yep. So I didn't know a soul here. I didn't know the city at all. I just went to the interview. It was for a metal company selling, 40-foot bar sheet, like plate metal. Had to wear a hard hat, glasses, vest, the whole 9 yards. And I was like, yes, I want to work here. Like, the Pepsi job didn't excite me somehow. I was like, yeah, I'm a girl that's going to be in metal sales.
And metal sales. It goes to show, like, if you're looking for opportunities, they're out there, but sometimes you're just picky. You know what I mean?
It's just taking the leap. That's literally, It wasn't the best job in the world, but that leap changed the direction I needed to go in. So, and I'm sure you have a very similar story of the leap. So I would love to hear of your first move and how that went.
Yeah. So the very first one was actually moving from Cuba to the US, which is a little bit different because I was in my 20s, I was 16. Totally different story because your reasons to leave Cuba are not the reasons, for example, why you left Michigan. You left for your career, you left because you wanted to, it was your choice. Of course, I had a little bit of a choice to and live in Cuba, but not really. Like everybody who has the chance and the opportunity to leave Cuba, they will take it even though it's not what we really, really want. Like, if you tell me if my country was in perfect conditions, I wouldn't have left. Like, that's where I grew up. That's where I went to school. I had my friends, my family. I left my dad, my sister. So, that experience, and the reason I want to talk about that first is because that shaped a lot of my character and my how my second move was. So the first move, of course, I was leaving my whole life as I knew it behind. And I remember being at the airport and saying goodbye to my dad and my sister. And I've never seen my dad cry in my life. And I remember I hugged him and then we separated and his eyes were like, you couldn't see his eyes of how many tears he had. He was like full water. And that broke my heart. And then I left. I was walking, through TSA. I was just gonna like after your past day, like you're gone. And I looked back and I just saw them both crying. And it was like you were ripping my heart out of my chest. Like I've never felt pain like that in my life. And that's why now I say like I'm on the complete opposite side. Now I'm like I say this as a joke, but it's kind of true. Like my heart is kind of made of ice right now because nothing really faces me, and obviously it didn't impact my ability to love. Like I can love people, I love people, like I'm one of the most loving people that you will ever meet, but I don't need anybody, you know what I mean? Like I can leave places, I can leave relationships if they don't serve me, either
You can leave your
with a
friend.
friend. Yes, it sounds harsh, but I don't need anybody. I
It's
love
honestly a
everybody.
good thing to have because then you
Yes,
put
I
you
love
first.
everybody. Exactly. I love everybody, but I don't necessarily need anybody to be okay. Like, I'm okay being on my own because after I went through that, like, that's it. Like, I can do whatever. And then that, when I left Orlando, so I moved from Cuba to Orlando and I spent there 8 years or 7 years and a half or something. And then I just recently moved from Orlando to Miami. And that's, I left my mom behind and I came to Miami all alone. I didn't really know anybody here. I mean, I know people around the area, but not where I am. I'm in Aventura specifically. I didn't know anybody here. I moved for work too. And it honestly, it was just, I was so ready. Like, it was different. I did it when I'm 24, so 24. I was just so ready to leave and to be on my own, to be in my own place, quiet. Because honestly, it gets to a point where if you're living with your parents and you have projects and you work, which I've been doing since I was 17, it gets a little bit annoying to live with your parents since your life is getting so big that it doesn't fit your little room in your house. You need your own space to do your own projects and to be your own person. So I was so ready, and I remember I left like I was completely fine. Like I didn't feel like I don't this is gonna sound
You
bad,
were
but
ready.
I don't miss anyone. I love them still, but I don't miss anyone. I am 100% happy, and I made a lot of friends here already. And this is what the next thing that I want to go into. Like, how was I making new friends when you moved in a new city by yourself?
It's challenging, especially as an adult, because when you're in college, it's so like you join a club, you see them in class, you just become friends.
Mm,
But if you don't put yourself out there as an adult, you're not going to
yeah,
make friends.
exactly. Like you
Yeah.
actually have to leave your house.
Yeah. And every place I've worked, everyone's been older than me. So it wasn't like they have kids my age. So I couldn't be like, let's go out after work because they're like, I'm going home to my family and my kids and my husband and like, and what I don't have. So
Yeah.
it was really challenging, but I kept going out. I mean, I would go to the bars and sit there alone and just walk up to random groups of people. And some nights were
Oh
really
yeah.
bad.
I know you are known for that for sure. Like, Audrey, do you just go out there alone and just sit down and wait for people to talk to you and you're like, yep, that's exactly what I do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could do that again because it drained my social battery so far. Because some nights I wouldn't meet people, or just I didn't have the endurance to walk up to a random crowd and get rejected or get hit on by some random guy that had other
Yeah.
ulterior
I know. By
motives.
some random or some randoms.
Yeah, but the nice part is I kept going to the same place over and over again, and one of the bartender started recognizing me. And so he would just slip a drink over. And I was like, I think the first few times he thought I just kept getting stood up on dates. So he felt bad.
Man,
And then I finally
that's so
told him, like, no,
sad
I'm
if
just
that
new.
were true. But no, who's gonna stood you up? Like, absolutely not.
Hey, I actually have gotten stood up before, but that's a story for another day.
Stay tuned for another episode.
Yeah, but I think like just if you put yourself out there, you network, you're nice to people, you're friendly, you're open, like you're not crossing your arms, you have an inviting atmosphere, people see that. Even though I have a really bad RBF, you know that you've captured it on camera. But yeah, it's just putting yourself out there, or else if you sit alone, you're not going to meet anyone at the end of the day.
No, 100%. No, I think the same way. For me, it's been a little different since most of my friends here are from either she sales that I met through she sales. That's a form of networking, of course, because I met it, through the girls in the course, or friends from work also. So I hadn't had the need to go out there by myself and sit down at a bar. I don't say that I wouldn't do that, but I haven't had the need to since I made friends at work pretty quickly and I had the Sheezel's girls too here. So I was set on that area. But I would say the biggest piece of advice that I would have for someone trying to make friends other than going to bars and sitting alone, because there's many girls out there who don't want to do that, and that's totally fine. Because honestly, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go alone to a bar just because I am very if I'm sitting alone at a bar and I have one person come up to me and hit me up, no, I'm done. I'm disgusted for the
Like
night
I'm
and I'll
out,
leave.
gone.
I'm disgusted for the night and I'll leave. That's just who I am. So, what I would recommend somebody else to do is get on activities, like go to do things that you like to do, go to the gym or go to play pickleball or get on a run club or get on a Facebook group for whatever you want to do. Go to a soap making class,
So
go
making.
to do things. Exactly, go and do things, and maybe these things you will have to invest money, of course, because some of these things you have to pay for is the best money you're ever gonna make, because you're gonna find people, and not only you're gonna find people, but you're gonna find people that like to do the things that you're doing. So maybe you have other similarities and you can make friends and go do other stuff together. So that would be my best piece of advice to someone who doesn't want to go to a bar alone like you.
Yeah, I mean
brave
it
brave
takes an
woman.
art.
It is, and it is an art for sure.
I
Okay,
mean,
Audrey. So, yeah.
I was gonna say part of that, like going someplace where you don't know anyone, is you do have to like spend a lot more time with yourself. So that was gonna be my question for you: is like, how has it been? I mean, it sounds like you've enjoyed having your own space, but some people can't do that. So how has it been just
Girl,
living on your own?
girl, I'm just gonna say glory to God. Being alone is the best thing ever. And if you're someone who struggles with the idea of just being alone on an apartment or being alone in general, my girl, it is so good. But the reason you probably feel concerned or scared is because you are correlating being alone with being lonely, and they're two completely different things. Like, I'm alone, but I'm not lonely whatsoever. Like, being lonely for me is like a state of mind that you start getting all these thoughts into your mind of, I'm alone, nobody wants me, or nobody loves me, I don't have friends, my family's far away, like, oh my God, I'm alone in the world, poor little me. Like, don't have that mentality. If you're thinking those thoughts every day, of course you're gonna feel lonely and miserable. Don't be miserable. Like, being alone is your moment. It's your moment. Oh my God. Like, I know so many people who go from one relationship to another, to another, to another, because they can't stand the idea of being alone. And that is the perfect moment for you to know who you are by yourself. That way, when you meet someone and you want to create a life with them, you know who you are, and you already know if you're talking to that person, okay, they're not going to fit into my life because X, Y, and Z. If you're not okay with spending time alone and getting to know who you are on your own, you're never going to know that. And you're going to keep attaching yourself to people and becoming versions of them and attaching yourself to whatever they want, to whatever they like, to whatever they do. And you're never going to know what you like for you. So this is your time. Go out there and do things. Just do things, meet people, and know what you like and what you don't like. For example, I don't like going to the club. I just know. I've been going a few times with you, Miss Ma'am. I can't
A couple
say
times.
that you know what? I've enjoyed it because it's been with you and with my friends, but I honestly I hate the club, and that's just something that I know I hate. If tomorrow I meet someone that loves the club, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not your girl. You go
Hey,
find
if
somebody
it was
else.
different music, you probably would love it.
I don't know. But the thing is, and this is just an example of one thing, but it could be many different things. If I didn't know who I am and this guy comes over and then he loves the club, then I'm just going to start going to the club and I'm going to start going down this route that it wasn't really me, but I didn't know who I was, so I just went along with it. Like just know who you are and be okay with learning to be yourself. That's the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, it brings up like the uncomfortable piece. Is like be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's how you know you're growing. If you're comfy all the time, you probably should look around and see like, okay, maybe I should make a switch up here.
100%. 100%. Okay, Audrey, was there any moment where you thought, especially in the beginning, because of course not now, I think once you live alone for a little bit, you can go back. But in the beginning, was there a moment where you thought, am I making a huge mistake?
I think so actually, because it felt
You were
right
just
for
ready.
me.
You were ready.
Yeah, I mean, of course there's challenges.
Yeah.
It was not an easy trip down because I've always done like under the table living at places. So
What?
I
Wait, under the table living? What do you mean?
like it's like a friend of a friend and you make like some sort of like lease agreement and and
Uh,
it's like cash and stuff.
no, I actually don't know.
Anyways, it was things.
Illegal activities.
Yeah, so I haven't had a true lease and I didn't do my preparation before because I'm a type B, I go with the flow on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And when I moved, I didn't know you needed things like a cashier's check and things of that sort.
I'm laughing because I know this story. Tell this story, please.
So when I moved here, first off, I didn't officially have my apartment. I just figured it'd be so easy to move into someplace. So on my way down, I was like, yeah, I'm going to be moving in on this day. And there was all these issues. I didn't have a credit history. So it made it so difficult to get approved to actually live here. And you need to earn like an aggressive amount to live. I can afford it, but you needed to meet a certain amount above that.
Yeah.
And so I was not prepared.
You were like, I'm just barely making it by. What do you mean?
Just a girl trying to live somewhere. So yeah, I came in and I was ready. Finally, I had to stay in a hotel for a couple days down here, but I finally got approved to move in. And I show up with all my stuff ready to move in. And he's like, okay, yeah, we'll take a cashier's check and you'll be good to go. So cool. I will be right back. I'll go get that. Up north, we have credit unions. I don't know if I think there's credit unions down here. But my credit union wasn't here. So I didn't have access to my money. So I couldn't just get a cashier's check. And I was driving to all these different banks. Like, can I open up? Like, I have some cash. Can I open and transfer and all this stuff? And it was not working. I swear I went to 10 plus banks, driving around with all of my stuff, not able to get to my money. And I was young, not that long ago, but being 21 in another city, I don't know where anything's at, with all of my all my valuables on me. I mean, every bank I went into, I had like my backpack on my front side with my passport, my birth certificate, all my cash, just like
Everything,
don't rob me.
all your life in one little bag.
Yeah, and I remember I called my dad because I was like, I'm crashing out. I have no idea what to do. I'm exhausted. I've slept in bug-ridden hotels for multiple days.
Didn't he just say like figure it out?
Yeah, he said, you'll figure it out. And that was it. And I know a piece of it was he was mad that I moved because we are really close friends. But I was so frustrated because I'm like, I wouldn't be calling you right now if I wasn't at my wit's end. But that, I need to tell him this because that piece is ingrained in my brain. Whenever I get to a point where I'm just like, wow, I need to quit. It's like, you'll figure out a way.
To figure it out. Yep.
And I did. I mean, I walked into a Bank of America and I was like, if you guys can't help me, nobody can. And I was like, I have this cash. I want to transfer money. Can I please? And it worked out. So I got to move in. But it was challenging. It was extremely hard. I slept on the floor. I ate out of pots and pans with my hands. And
with your hands?
I didn't have anything. I did not have stuff. And I did not have that much money. So it was a challenging
utensils, but
yeah. But by the time I moved in, I didn't even have time to go to the grocery store.
You know what? I'm sure there's somebody out there who relates.
Yeah,
So
somebody.
thank you for thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
It's the intimate moments, that being able to eat some hamburger helper with your hands. That's the thing that I will remember for the rest of my life. And when I'm making like multiple seven figures, I'll be like, you know what? And everyone's like, oh, you got it so easy. It's like, no, I started from somewhere.
Yeah. I ate with my hands.
Exactly. I mean, in your journey, because you moved multiple times. So,
Yeah.
I mean, was the second time any easier than the first time, or like, was there anything you would have done differently?
Okay, so the first time it doesn't really count as a whole move. The first time it was just the emotional piece. On the first time, I figured out all the emotional pieces of leaving what you thought your life was behind. But I moved to, my mom was with my stepdad, so we moved to his house, and it was a house already furnished, already everything. So that's it. I moved into my room, and that was it. Now, this time, I actually moved by myself. I packed all of my things into my car. Legit, like nothing else could fit into this car. I have a Mazda 630 2022, not that big, but somehow I made it. I packed everything in that car. And I woke up at 3 a.m. and I drove because I had to start work a specific date. So I had like 3 weeks to move in, to find an apartment, get approved,
You
and
did
move
it
in.
quick.
3 weeks, three. And I remember, oh my God, that week when I got the job and I had to move ASAP, that was a Monday. So I drove to Aventura and I left the same day. I was so sick. And I had to come back on Friday for a bunch. I booked a bunch of tours of apartments here and I drove Friday morning really early. I was in Aventura at like 9 a.m. So I left my house in Orlando like at 4 a.m. And then I left back to Orlando the same day at night. It was brutal. And I was super, super, super sick. Like I felt like death. And it was very interesting how this happened. Because, okay, I booked myself a bunch of apartment tours, right? And then there was this website, it's called Miami Residence or something like that. And it's apartments that people rent. So, like, apartments with a landlord. And I submitted like my interest in two of those apartments. And somebody reached out to me, a realtor reached out to me. And he was like, oh, okay. That was a Thursday that I submitted that. And he texted me and he said, oh, I saw you like this. When will you move to go? And I was like, well, I'm actually going to be there tomorrow. I know it's last minute. So no worries if you can't, get me a tour of them or whatever, because it was really last minute. And he was like, okay, I'll see what I can do. Next day, I don't hear back from him. And I texted him, let me know. Never heard back from him until the next day at around 11 a.m. He sent me one of the apartments. He said, okay, 1 p.m., be here. And I was like, okay, I'll be there. Even though I had a lot of other appointments, I was like, I actually don't have anything. I'm going to be there. I get there and I'm like, okay, where are you? He texted me, my assistant will meet you there. I was like, your assistant? And I was like, okay. Okay, she gets there and I'm like, hi, you're whatever's assistant. And she's like, I'm whose assistant? She was the realtor of the landlord. And she was like, no, like he needs to be here because he's your representative. Like, where is he? And he can be saying that I'm his assistant. I don't even know this guy. She was super mad, but she showed me the apartment and everything. He never got there. She showed me the whole apartment. Anyways, I love the apartment. Actually, it was my favorite. So I told her, can I work with you? Because I don't really like this guy. I don't trust him. I don't know him. I don't like him. And she's like, you know what? I can't tell you to do that because I can't steal customers, but here's my card. Whatever you want to do, you just let me know. And of course, I kept doing business with her. And that turned into a whole other issue. Like, he actually got like her brokerage involved because he was saying that she stole a customer from her. I'm like, I wrote a whole ass email with ChatGPT telling this man to basically, I'm not going to say
Choice
the
words.
word, but yeah.
This is PG,
Basically telling this
sort of.
man exactly like, no, you're wrong. Anyways, and I'm just telling this story because it's important for people to know out there. Like many times you're moving and nothing works out the way you think it's gonna work out. Anyways, I put an offer for this apartment. They said yes in the beginning, and then they said no for a stupid reason. Literally a stupid reason. And this was like I had like a week left. I had like a week or 2 weeks left, or like a week and a half left to move. I had no time and they didn't approve me for this apartment. And again, like this is how some things happen sometimes. If I didn't meet that woman, I wouldn't be where I am today in the apartment that I have today. Because she moved, she was like, okay, no worries, I'm gonna get you an apartment. Don't you worry. And she moved so quick and she got me this apartment. Obviously, I couldn't come again to see it. So she just came and FaceTime me and showed it to me. I loved it. And then I moved here and it wasn't for sure that I was gonna move the day that I came with my stuff. I packed all of my stuff in the car, not even knowing that I could stay that day. Because that day I had like an interview with the apartment complex people and they needed to approve me. If they didn't approve me, I wasn't gonna get the apartment. But I came, it was like 3 days. It was Thursday and I was starting work on Monday and I didn't know if I was gonna get approved by the community. Well, I came with my car packed full of stuff, and I was like, "Oh my god, please let this work because I don't know what I'm gonna do if this doesn't work." Okay, they approved me, and she was like, "Okay, we're gonna move you in today." And they said, "Oh no, like your lease doesn't start until this day. You can move in until this day." It was like Tuesday of the other week. I was like, "No, I need to move in today." Well, somehow, some
I'm ready
way, I
now.
moved in. I moved in that day. Even the people from downstairs, they couldn't believe it. It was like, "Oh, she's moving today? She just got approved today." I was like, "Yeah, I'm moving today." Hi, I'm your new neighbor. And you know what? I slept on the floor for like a week. It was all good.
Builds
It's
character.
legit. I came with an inflatable mattress that was I had a hole somewhere, so I had to keep inflating it through the night. But good times. I woke up every morning almost on the floor, but it was good. It was good. Now it's all furnished.
Yeah,
Everything's
at
good.
least you had an air mattress. we just floored it. That was it. Folded the comforter and said, "Ooh, cozy."
Yeah, like, and again, for somebody who's in their 20s about to move or maybe 18, it's gonna be messy. Yeah, oh, my stepsister is actually moving. She's moving to Savannah and she's super scared. She called me the other day and she was like, "Oh my God, like I'm scared. I don't know if I'm ready for this, but I know I have to." And I told her and she said, "Do you have some words of encouragement for me?" And I said, "You know what?"
Good luck.
I said, "Life sucks. It's gonna suck, but you're gonna figure it out." That's all I can tell you because you're not going to be 100% ready. Nobody can prepare you 100% for anything. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to sleep on the floor. You're going to eat with your hands, but you're going to die? No, you're not going to die. And one day you're going to look back at those days and you're going to laugh.
Exactly. The one thing I love, so many people don't take leaps because they are held back by being scared, the what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? This bad thing could happen. And yes, it's a risk. What is riskier? I sound like a salesperson.
Are you
Is
trying
it
to sell me something right now?
I'm selling you risk right now? Is it riskier? Every time I say I'm a salesperson, everyone's like, "Oh, sell me this." I'm like, I don't want to. Anyways, is it riskier to worry about all those what ifs that could potentially happen or risk the true dream that you have?
Exactly.
So
And
keep that
most
in
of
mind.
those things that you have on your head, all those risks or fears, most of them are not even true. And most of the scenarios make up in your head are never gonna happen. Just think about that. Like the worst thing that you have in your mind right now, it's probably never gonna happen.
Yeah. And
So
the more
just
you
do it.
sit in that, the more that's going to become true. But if you sit in this place where it's like, I could do this, I can do this, I want to do this. And it's not just dreaming about something, but taking the action steps to actually get there. That's what makes the difference.
100%. Do you feel like moving helped you become another version of yourself? I think for sure, but what do you think about that?
100%. Because I grew up in a very small town. I knew everyone. Everyone knew me. Like I got pulled over by a cop. They're like, "Oh, Bakerson's kid, how are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh."
Oh my God, not getting pulled over by a cop.
To be fair, it was such a small town. It was because of curfew. So I wasn't doing anything illegal. I was just out past 10 o'clock.
You had a curfew.
Yeah, our town had a curfew. So you couldn't be out. Like if you were young, you couldn't be out at a certain age. So I got pulled over. And I was coming back from robotics, my robotics club. So it's like I'm literally going
My
home.
God. At what age was this?
I would have been, I don't know, 17, 18, somewhere in there.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I'm a big nerd at heart, but it was nice to move because all of my accomplishments felt like they weren't mine because
Wow.
my dad's a business person. So he started his own company and in this town, born and raised. So everyone really knows who he was. So I felt like a lot of what I did and my accomplishments were because of him or because my parents put me in the right room or, I just got lucky. So when I came here and I started succeeding and I started making a name for myself and being that person in a room that's connecting people, that's honestly one of my biggest accomplishments because I did that for myself and I
Yeah.
can actually be grateful. Whereas before I discounted everything I achieved because I was like, oh, it's because somebody else. Well, now it's because I did it. So that's
100%.
been a
No,
really
I'm with
cool.
you on that. I'm with you on that. It definitely feels like nobody can take this away from me. Like you did this by yourself. Everything that I've accomplished, just everything I've done, like I just owe it to myself and no one else. Of course, there's people along the way that help you and everything, but nobody was really there on the down moments or when you were doubting yourself or when you were alone thinking, am I making a mistake or is this really the right thing to do or am I just stupid? Like it's just you at the end of the day. So it gives you that sense of, okay, if I did this, I can do anything.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in your case, was there like a big personal win that you've had since you've relocated, especially like this last time around?
There's a few. I can talk about all of them right now. Maybe in the future I'll talk about them, but not quite right now. But honestly, I felt like there was a before and after. I spent so many years wanting to move out, but it was just like different things getting in the way. Like as I mentioned on the last episode, like last year I wanted to move. My idea starting the year was to move to Spain to help my dad. So we started with another mentality. So many things have happened, but I've always wanted to be on my own and be my own person. But man, I never realized that everything that I ever wanted was going to happen that fast. And by everything that I ever wanted, I mean like being on my own or just like having peace to do my own projects. For example, actually, this is a win. This podcast right now is a win. And you know why it's a win? Because if I was still living with my parents, it would have never have happened. Because I didn't feel comfortable, in my room in my parents' house to do my own stuff or to record that challenge we did a couple weeks ago. I would have never done that living with my parents. So doing all these personal projects that I'm doing now, I wouldn't been able to do that when I was with my parents just because I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable to do my things around them. And that's a big thing that was stopping me. And of course, it was my own head. I could have done it, but I care too much about what they think of me that I never did it. So this right now is a win just because I moved. And if like so many things are coming to life and so many new projects and new things that I want to do are flourishing and actually coming true just because I moved and because I'm alone. So that's definitely a huge win. Okay, so to close it out, what would be I already talked about this a little bit. So what would you tell someone who's trying to move out or thinking about it and it's feeling scared or uneasy? What would you tell her?
Yeah, I think if you're drawn to it, go for it. Like you're drawn to it for a reason. Keep it short and simple. Don't overthink it.
And just take the leap. Nobody can prepare you for it. So just take the leap, do it, and you'll figure it out. This is the best thing that you can think of every single time is I'm gonna figure it out. Like have a figure it out mentality. That's it. It's gonna be messy, it's gonna be ugly, it ain't gonna be pretty, I'm gonna tell you that. But at the end of the day, you're gonna figure it out. All right, Audrey. So we've reached the end of the episode, and let's close it out in all the old fashioned way. What is something like what does not quitting look for you right now?
For me, it's challenging what I think was safe and
Mm,
actually leaping towards my goals because I thought, oh, not just doing my daily life and what I'm doing is pushing in the right direction. But
yeah,
not quitting isn't just like giving up, but also pushing yourself to where you should be.
I
How about
love that.
you?
Okay, not quitting for me right now is not losing sight of my goals, especially the goals for this month, and taking one step forward every single day, like moving the needle forward at least 1% every single day on those goals, so that at the end of the month, I can say I did everything I had to reach these goals. There's nothing in me. That's what not quitting means. Like I'm working on my goals every single day, however that looks like, even if it's a little bit each day.
I love that. Well, awesome. It's been a great podcast. I hope some people took something away from our fun, crazy stories. And until next time.
100%. So if you enjoyed this podcast and you know a girl, a friend, your sister who's moving and you want to help her out, just go ahead and share this with them. If you want to share it on your socials, that would help us a lot. And also go follow us on our Instagram at Two Girls Trying Not to Quit. And that's it for this episode. We love you and we'll see you next week.